Time to answer your questions this week, and loving the feedback. Keep them coming on our Facebook page here at League Week. Let's start off this week with Robert Borg. Robert says, would you rather have played the game now, or did you prefer it in your time? Well, I really would prefer the money the boys get these days, but the scrutiny that the modern day rugby league player is under would not have helped me one iota. I was bad enough back in the day when there was no social media, and I still seem to make the headlines without that. So, simple answer to this question, Robert. I would have much rather played in my era than today, because we could do a lot more, i.e. have a drink at the local pub without being photographed by an iPhone. I think the modern day player is way over scrutinised by the public, and it's a shame, but it's the way we are. Sam Lawson, you say this: do you think it would be a good idea for the Warriors to move Manu Vatuvei to the forward? I think, Sam, that is a tremendous idea, one that I've spoken about for a couple of weeks now, especially on Twitter. I think Manu is showing signs of he's turning is a lot slower than it used to be. I think the 30% good we get from Manu Vatuvei is nullified by the 70% bad we're getting of late. But you still got to have him in your team. Manu would be perfect coming off the bench as an impact forward, like Tony Williams did for Manly. Tony Williams is now one of the first forwards picked in Origin. I think Manu Vatuvei could be exact type player. You know, you bring him on fresh against a tired defence, and he could be unbelievable. But the wing position is definitely for the young blokes. Manu is getting a little bit lower, but you've got to have him in your 17. But put him in the pigs. Scott Daly, you write: is Paul Gallen trying to do too much? Does he need to step back to maintain his fitness and lengthen his career? Well, that's a pretty interesting question. A lot of people have asked me, do you think that Paul Gallen is aware of his stats? And I say, of course he is. He knows he does 200 metres a week. He knows he does 30 odd tackles a week. Is he trying to do that every week? I don't think so. I think it's just become second nature to him at the moment. But doing that year after year for the next 4 or 5 years will definitely shorten his career. He's got to look at his man management of himself away from the game, how much he does away from training. I know players like Roy Simmons and Mal Meninga and Terry Lamb, when they got to the back end of their career, their training schedules were a lot different to that of the actual team. Paul Gallen's probably got to do something similar, maybe get in the deep water, a lot of deep water running, a lot of swimming. But I love watching him play. He's up to the game in by his eyeballs in every game he plays, and that's what you want from the captain of your state. So, but look, is he trying to do too much? I don't think so. He just stands out because he's got such a high work rate. And finally, Harry Zafiropoulos. Have I got that right, H? You write, who wins Origin 3 and why? Okay. I'm not speaking with my head or heart, I'm just speaking straight from my gut. My gut says that New South Wales win this Origin game and they break the 6-year hiatus that Queensland have had over us. They've just kicked our ass for so long. But I see some signs that the Queensland's run is going to come to an end. I think they're tiring, they're getting older. They seem to be making more excuses now in camp. This bloke's coming down with an illness, that bloke's coming down with an illness. Look, you've got to be beaten one day. New South Wales have picked a great team. I love the fact that Brett Morris has been included. I feel sorry for Uwate, but it's fair. I think it's cruel but fair. And I just think we're primed for it. Blokes like Greg Bird are hungry. Blokes like Paul Gallen, Watmow, Robbie Farah's form, Carney game 3 is going to be explosive. I think our backline holds their backline, our forwards hold their forwards. It's going to be one of them games, again, that goes down to the wire. But I think, for once in the last 6 years, New South Wales are going to be more hungry. And that's something we haven't seen for the last 6 years since Queensland have dominated. So, hunger will win this game for us, and the score will be 24 points to 22. Thanks again, guys. See you next week.